let's go on to Broncos country. Let's ride. Okay, let's ride to Cancun. How about that? Can the Broncos salvage their Russell Wilson experiment? Cuz are you up?
Oh man, this is one of the worst stories in the NFL this year. Coming into the season, everybody expectations on that AFC West was predicated on, Russell Wilson coming to Denver, with Denver having this great defense. Russell Wilson, a Super Bowl quarterback, went to 2 Super Bowls. We know what he could do. This dude probably could have won MVP here or there, but we have underestimated Pete Carroll. We underestimated this dude from a coaching perspective. Clearly we did, because Russell Wilson looks horrible. He don't look like he belonged on the NFL field at this point. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. The Russell Wilson experience this season, from what I've seen, is one of the worst moves a franchise has made trying to go after a franchise quarterback. It's worse than like in the NBA when you're trying to put a big three together and it just goes to flop. It's worse than Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and AD. Like it's horrible, because nobody could have told me coming into this season Denver wasn't going to be a solid, hard nose. You ain't going to go to Denver. Denver's one of the worst teams in the league. Russell Wilson has played pretty much every game. I think he missed maybe 1 or 2 games. You know what I mean? So, no, Denver going to get hit with this one, because they lost a lot of draft picks. They paid a lot of money. They're going to be compromised from a salary cap perspective. I think Denver's going to be a bad team for a long while until this whole thing is over. I do not think Russell Wilson is going to get redemption. I don't think he's going to redeem himself. I see him that he's a shell of himself. And big shout out to Pete Carroll from the coaching perspective. He really coached this dude up and had this dude playing lights out football. Because right now, this dude is a shell of himself. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
So you don't think that the
No,
Broncos could
no,
salvage? Okay.
no, no.
Zay, you up?
Sorry, yeah.
Freddie, I'm gonna disagree with that. I think the Broncos can salvage this Russell Wilson bet. I think when we look at every great quarterback, we realize that the reason why they falter is because they have poor play calling. When the play caller is horrendous, when they don't play to their style, we see shells of themselves, i.e., Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Russ Wilson. They all been playing like a shell of themselves this season. They haven't been playing great football, even though Tom Brady's numbers don't look terrible. They don't look horrible, but he's playing like a shell of himself. There should be no reason why he's 5-6 in his division, or 5. I don't know what the record is, but there should be no reason why Tom Brady has 5 wins, 6 wins with 10 through 10, 11 weeks. I just don't. That's not Tom Brady-esque to me. But I say all I have to say that they can salvage Russell Wilson, and there's multiple things. One, you got to get a new play caller in immediately. If Nathaniel Hack is not the guy at all, in the offensive coordinator that he hired, or whoever the hell that guy is, he's not the guy either. They need a new coach. They need a new coach right away. Two, you have to get a really good running back. The running backs that they have are not good. They're not good at all. And then you could say the reason being is because Russ Wilson's not good as a quarterback, but the running game hasn't been good. The play calling has not been solid. You got to bring a running back in there. Who's going to be? I have no clue. There's running backs all through the free agency next year. There's a stacked free agency. You got to find a way to get somebody. I don't know how you're going to do it. Find a way. Because you got rid of Chubb, you got rid of all these guys on defense, and your defense is still somewhat solid. The Broncos always had in the last 5-6 seasons, the Broncos defense has been above average. They know how to play football. Them guys are studs, and everywhere they go, they become stars. That defense, they know how to coach up defense. So the defense you don't have to worry about, which is great, because usually the defense is a big question mark on any football team. How are we going to get this defense going? The only thing right now is the play calling. Your quarterback's playing terrible, and your running game is abysmal. It's non-existent at this point. You have to figure out how to fix that. You get a new play caller in, hopefully you get some new plays in, and that's how you salvage it, because you put too much money into Russ Wilson to get it going. So you have to somehow, some way, make sure you get the best product out of Russ Wilson, get some touchdowns in, make sure you move the ball down the field, and that only starts with a new play caller. And if Nathaniel Hackett came in, everyone thought, all you need is Russ Wilson because he was improvising in Seattle anyway. No, you need something that changes the system around, because guys are not getting open, or Russell Wilson's not finding guys open. Either way, it's a bad look on the coach, bad look on the play caller. So you replace those and get Russell Wilson going in some form or way. And you have to tell Russ Wilson, listen, you're the quarterback. You're not a partner. You're not a business partner. We're not friends. We're not you're here to do your job and you're not doing it. So you need to put him on his damn back foot, literally, to make sure he's driving some damn throws down the field because he's not playing good at all. And he needs to know that and he needs to understand that because guys are coddling him over there in Denver thinking, yeah, you're not the problem. Don't worry. Like, no, you are the problem. Get your stuff together.
I would say this, as you know, do a voice check. All right, look, I think let's address the elephant in the room, right? I wish I had an elephant sound effect. I'll play it right now. I mean, 5 years, $246 million guaranteed. You can't get out of it, right? This is not something, well, you're not going to get out of it. No, you're stuck with it. First of all, well, how stupid are you to even extend him before you even see him play? That's the dumb part. Because had you saw this year and how bad he looked, maybe you would have had a second thought to not extend the guy. This is why I never do that. This is why I always, before I go caution them, and I understand people get emotional. Okay, oh my gosh, I got a Russell Wilson in my building playing for my team. Let me give him money. Wise, be wise, wisdom. That's what God gave you. Use it. Okay, they should have literally used this year. They did not have to extend him. They signed him. They did not have to extend him. They extended him upon the current contract that he's signed for. That's number one. Number two, when you call out your coach and call him an equal, okay, do you want to be coached? Who wants to coach Russell Wilson, right? Number two, players don't like you, which clearly they don't. Listen, Cuzzo know me, right? Clear, we family. And Cuzzo know me, right? Because when we go to these family events, I don't say too much to a lot of people, right? Chances are I just come with the Cuzzo. We chop it up about sports. I'm going on my day, okay? I'm not talking to a lot of people, but I'm very observant. I know what's going on. I know the scenery in the room. Okay. And that's exactly a gift that God has gave me. I have the ability to observe what's going on. And what I observe is that his teammates don't like him. When he's taking videos and stuff like that, he's nowhere near his teammates. Okay. He's literally on a sideline by himself. Okay. Guys are chirping at him on the sideline. Okay. He's doing all these rituals and stuff like that pregame by himself. I have that cognitive ability to peep that. But the reason why, as much as I may have criticized Russell Wilson this year, the reason why I'm actually going to slightly, and this is not confidently, but slightly agree with Zay here is because guess what? Money talks. And the reason why I say so is because they have the 19th richest man in the world as an owner, okay, who can shell out different cash bonuses to a coach. They can get a great coach. They can get a Sean Payton, right? Because the money come calling. They can get free agents because they can offer some more bonuses for a free agent to come through the building. So it's not about, oh, I like Russ. It's not about, oh, I want to play with Russ. It's not, oh, I want to coach Russ. It's about the money. Money talks. Everything else walks. And that's why I agree with Zay.
Let me hit you with this, though. You said something very interesting. And what you said was he's showing bad leadership. And when you got bad leadership from your quarterback, and this is not just from Denver, this is also from Seattle, his former players, etc. When you got bad leadership as a quarterback, that's pretty bad because we know quarterback, you can name the quarterback as the most important sports figure in any team sport. He got tons of responsibility. He have to have leadership. This dude have horrible leadership. Horrible leadership. And now he's missing throws by the pound. He looked like he, from a psychological perspective, he's not in the game. You know what I mean? He looked like he put on some weight, so he's not as athletic. It's like a lot going on in Russell Wilson's life, maybe personally, on the field, off the field, that showing me he's not that dude. And when you got to start bringing in coaches and all these other players, when we got a Super Bowl quarterback in the building and he's supposed to be raising our game. No, we got to bring players around him to raise his game. That's a problem. That's problematic. And I believe Denver stepped in mud. I believe Denver stepped in doo-doo, and they can't clean their boots off, bro.
I think real quick, before you get in there, I think the reason why Denver stepped in what, in I want to say shit, but
in a pile of shit.
Yeah, in a pile of shit. No, literally, they stepped in shit is because, I try to clean it up, but there's nothing else to say. It's because they didn't hire the right coach. You talk about Pete Carroll, the guy's been in Seattle for how long? The guy knows how to coach guys. He's a guy. He did it in college. He's successful in college and the NFL. So you go over there and you think Russ Wilson, as talented as everyone thought he was or whatever, you send him over there with a guy who never played called plays in his life, was a first-time coach. What did you think was going to happen? It's not like Russ Wilson's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to call my own plays. Don't worry about it. The Tom Brady, one of the more, if not the most decorated quarterback in NFL history. Getting coached by Todd Bowles is not just because the coach is not good, the play call is not good. So things are gonna happen bad and not gonna happen in your favor. Now, when we talk about Pete Carroll as a coach, he coached up Geno Smith because maybe Geno Smith's entire thing, his entire NFL career was confidence. He didn't get the confidence from the coaches in prior time. When he finally got to Seattle, he got all the all the energy. Like, yo, you're the coach, you're the guy. We're gonna coach you up. You're gonna be the quarterback for this team. There's nobody's gonna take your spot once you won it in training camp. That's what Pete Carroll does good. He's a guy in the locker room that is gonna preach confidence to his players because he knows what he has around him. Because he's not gonna diminish you, knowing that we need to win football games this season. And that's something that Pete Carroll was doing. Nathaniel Hackett, we're business partners. We're this and a third. I don't want to hear that from the coach. I want you to coach the guy. I want you to build him up. Saying give him accountability when he's doing stuff wrong, but build him up knowing that he needs to come in week by week to help us win football games. And that's something that Daniel Hackett's not doing in his locker room.
Real quick,
I'm set. My bad.
Okay.
How about addressing that leadership problem that he has? And he physically looks different. Y'all don't notice that he gained weight and he's not as quick? We gotta address those issues.
Now, that's why I said I'm torn. But like I said, I'm thinking about it from a whole different perspective. It's literally come down to money to me. And that's how most things come down to. When you get offered a job, you're taking the job that's paying you the most. Like, that's just a logical perspective. But I do think to a certain extent, because of you, definitely right. Like, he doesn't look the same. He definitely looked declined. He declined last year in Seattle under Pete Carroll. Okay, nobody talks about that. But at the same time, I see Zay's points. It's like Geno Smith. I know a lot of people will look at his success and say, okay, well, he's been in the league. He's been a journeyman, and now he just has success. Okay, that's an argument that could feel and make Freddie's point look good. But at the same time, I could reverse that mirror. That means pretty much when you look at his track record and where he played for, there's no good coach. He played for the Giants, terrible franchise. He played for the Jets. Sorry, Zay, terrible franchise prior to this year. Okay, no good coaching. So it's like he finally got a good coach, and it's showing. So that's more of the Pete Carroll's greatness and Geno Smith needing that voice. Had nothing to do with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl with Pete Carroll already, right? So clearly he's not terrible enough where you can't win games, right? You cannot fake the funk winning the championship. Like, even Jimmy Garoppolo, you can have these questions about him, but he lost in the championship game. We saw him not make the throws, okay? And you could argue that 1 yard line thing, that was a coaching error, okay, when he threw that interception to Malcolm Butler. It was a bad throw, but it was a coaching error.
No doubt.
Should have ran that rock. He would have had 2. So what I'm saying is, although I agree, Cuzzo, he's probably declined. Not probably. He has declined. He doesn't look the same. He's not as mobile. Injuries. He's being modded by injuries. That's another thing. He's injured this year. Yeah. But at the same time, you have to get a much better coach to give yourself a chance. I agree with Zay. Tom Brady, even with Todd Bowles, he's losing games because Todd Bowles is not a good coach. Okay, coaching is very important in the game of football. And Russell Wilson is at that stage in his career where he doesn't need an equal like he said he wanted. He needs a coach.
But yo, Cuzzo, real quick. I don't see Tom Brady missing a lot of throws. I'm watching Russell Wilson miss wide open people, bro. I'm just saying. Gotta throw that out there.
Could be. Yeah, look, I'm not a Russell Wilson defender here. Like I said, I already called him out on his BS. But at the same time, Zay, bring us home.
Bring us home, baby.
They need to get it together. And the only way Denver salvages this, getting this new coach, the team is not playing well. The team don't like him, as Lil stated. Freddie said it best. The team, it's going to be tough to salvage it because of everything that's happening thus far, his leadership issues, his lack of accountability for himself, and the defense even getting at him, which is it's again on live on a game. That's horrible to see. But we will see during the rest of the season and all season what's going to transpire and what the GMs are going to say, because something needs to change immediately. And rather it's the quarterback himself or the play caller, something needs to change on his roster right away.
Got it.
Well, quickly here. Russell Wilson, send me my check in the mail, bruv, because I'm defending your behind. I'm really used to doing that. Okay, look, let me make this last point. Maybe the Broncos are an overrated team. Have you thought about that? Like Jerry Jeudy, When has he eclipsed 1,000 yards on the season? Can't do it this year. He ain't playing. He wasn't playing for a good stretch of last year. Or he's doing all this route running like my guy Shannon Sharp said, but no catching. So that's one. Cortland Sutton, he's a decent receiver. Solid. That's your guy. Tim Patrick, injured before the season started. Offensive line injuries. Okay. Melvin Gordon, fumbling issue. He's not on the team no more. So maybe this team on the offensive side, because defensively they've been holding up the end of the ballgame. But offensively, they've been overrated. So you combine the overrated offense, you combine the lackluster coaching, you combine Russell Wilson's slight decline, and you put all those together combined, and now you're 3-9. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next joint that we have here. I did that on the fly. That's why they call me Lil Shadamas.